My name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are here because we want to learn to read and write Hindi. We are also here because we want to learn to read and write Urdu. We are doing both at the same time. Today is our lesson number 88. Let's begin. The very first word is something that we have written many times, and not only in this song but in other songs also. I'm just going to write it. The word is mohabbat. This is line number 11. Mohab, and then bat. And if you still don't know what I just did here, at least watch yesterday's video 87, because we came across this word yesterday and I did explain it over there. It's a U ki matra, then we need a H, then we need half a B, mohab, and then bat. Mohabbat, karne. Now let's slow down for a second. As I said, karne, I wrote here ka and a ra. Very strictly speaking, this dot belongs. This dot is for the na. Na looks like this. In order for this dot, this nukta, this bindi, to sit, it has to have something to sit. This is the na, and then a badi. But most of the time, people don't bother with that. You're not going to see. Nobody is going to take the time. They just write one like this, and the reader understands that if it's by itself, it's a badi. It serves as choti eki matra. But if it's got a dot on it, then that bloody thing is no longer a matra. It's a na and a matra. It's ne. मोहब्बत करने वालों, लो, but we don't need walo, we need walon. So we need to have a nasalized n, nun gunna. मोहब्बत करने वालों. I'm going to rewrite walon because I don't like the way it looks. That's much better. मोहब्बत करने वालों का, and ka is simply kaf plus an alif, except when kaf is about to join alif, it takes this shape. That's the shape it takes, to which you join the alif. Except you don't do it in two steps, you just write it in one step. Ka. मोहब्बत करने वालों का. Hey is just her. बड़ी है, that's a hey. बड़ी है gives us एक ही मात्रा. छोटी एक ही मात्रा. We don't need a छोटी एक ही मात्रा. We need a बड़ी एक ही मात्रा. So we put a zabar on top of hey, and it becomes a बड़ी एक ही मात्रा. मोहब्बत करने वालों का है. Bus is just ba and a sa. Bus. What we just wrote here is ba and then seen. And strictly speaking, when you put ba and a sa together, strictly speaking, you should like this ba and then two more loops for sa and then this. Instead of making two additional loops for sa, I just made one long one. And that's perfectly legible, it's perfectly fine, and this is exactly how you're going to see in the print, in the newspaper, in books and so forth. And even in the writing, in day-to-day writing, because it's quicker to just make one long loop. मोहब्बत करने वालों का है बस इतना. We need alif with a छोटी ई की मात्रा, e, t, and then na. इतना. मोहब्बत करने वालों का है बस इतना. He, again her, and a छोटी है. छोटी है gives us बड़ी ई की मात्रा. मोहब्बत करने वालों का है बस इतना ही. अफसाना. Alif, a, then a fur, As you can see, it becomes very awkward if I write one letter at a time, because that's not how we write in Hindi. That's not how we write in Urdu. And the Urdu writer is not used to writing one letter at a time. We just put them together and it flows nicely, smoothly, and it looks more elegant. But I'm doing it for your sake here. Af. We have to put a dot underneath to tell the reader that this fe that we just wrote here is F. It's not a PH. Af. Sa. We're going to do it one more time. We need a sa, so I'm just going to make a one long loop for sa. There you go. That's a sa. Of sa. And then we did na. Of sa na. Except we have to fix the spelling here. And we have seen this thing, this phenomenon, this oddity, this quirk, this eccentric feature of Urdu language. The eccentric feature being the fact that a lot of the time when the word ends with the aki matra, and even though it ends with the aki matra, and aki matra is what you see here, but for some strange and inexplicable reason, instead of an alif, we spell it with a her, like this. This her right here. And it takes that shape. And that reads na. मोहब्बत करने वालों का है बस इतना ही अफसाना. What's an afsana? Afsana is a story, a tale. Those who fall in love have a very short story to tell. They have very short story to tell. As I explained the first day, in this qawwali, unlike most of the time when somebody's singing a qawwali or a ghazal, it's just one person. But every once in a while, during the Mughal time, there was a traditions where two poets will sit opposite to each other, male or female, and they will sing one after the other, almost like a debate, always like a conversation. One person will say something and the other person replies to it, and it's all impromptu. It's on the spur of the moment, right there. They don't prepare, because you have no way of saying what the other person is going to say. And you have to reply in a poetic manner, and that's where the fun lies. So here there are these two women speaking to each other. This is the second woman. The first woman is the one who wants to fall in love with the gentleman, the prince or the king, whoever it is. She's the one who wants to fall in love. And she's the one who starts a song. Teri Mehfil mein Qismat Aazma kar hum bhi dekhenge. Ghadi bhar ko tere nazdeek aakar hum bhi dekhenge. Tere kadmon pe sar jhukakar hum bhi dekhenge. Is the second one who tells her, no, it's not a good idea. Don't fall in love. It's just aggravation. It's a lot of cry, a lot of heartache. It's just not fun to fall in love. And it's the second person who is speaking right now. She's trying to convince her, don't fall in love. And then she goes on to tell her the reason why. And the reason she gives her is that those who fall in love, they have a very short story to tell. And their entire story, she will tell, their entire story will be told in just one line. Just one line, she tells the story. And the next line, we'll see what the story is for those who fall in love. But whatever the story is, it's a very short story. मोहब्बत करने वालों का है बस इतना ही अफसाना. Let's see what the afsana is. Let's see what their story is. To, and then a row. To, row. To. Row is. I think I'm going to change this marker. It's about to die. Let's hope for the best. This is my last one here. To, ro, po, no. Po, no. Toro, po, no. Torotna. What does torotna mean? Torotna means to be restless. To not have peace, to not have tranquility in heart. Torotna. बेचैन होना. हमेशा बेचैन होते हैं, हमेशा बेकरार होते हैं. बेकरार, without peace, बेचैन. तड़पना. हमेशा तड़पते रहते हैं. They are restless. They are always restless. To those who fall in love, they are always restless. तड़पना. That's the first thing they do. They're always restless. What's the second thing they do? She says their story is very brief. They essentially do only three things. They're always restless. The next thing they do is, we need a ch, that's a ch, and a h. Ch, che, I shouldn't have written it like this because Urdu does not go this way. Urdu goes this way. So I have to write the ch, che. This is called che, and then do chashmi here, right there. That makes a ch. We don't need a ch, we need a chu. How do we write ch in Hindi? There we go. That's a ch. We don't need a ch, we need a chu. Chup. Ke. Chupke, and she repeats the word chupke chupke. Let me rewrite it so we have room. Urdu has lots of dots. You have to keep track of your dots. You have to keep track of your nuktas, your bindis. We need 3 of them for cha, and we need 3 more for pa. Chupke chupke. Chupke chupke. Chupke chupke. Let's write this word. Next line. Ah. Ah. Ah is a sigh. Sigh when you cry silently. Sa. Just by yourself. Silently, quietly, hidden from public's view. That's what chupke chupke means. Hidden. They cry by themselves in a corner, in a room. They lock themselves up in a room and they cry. The first thing they do is they always हमेशा तड़पते रहते हैं. They're always restless. They cry, chupke chupke. They sigh. Chupke chupke. Ah बढ़ना. Ah बढ़ना. बढ़ना. Chupke chupke. Ah बढ़ना. That's the second thing they do. What's the third thing they do? This next word is a little tricky. Let's learn the word first before we go anywhere. So we need this is a g. So we're going to take a g and we're going to join her to it, and that's going to make a g. That's how we write g. We don't need a g, we need a gu. So let's first write a g. G. We need a gu. We need a gu, we need a badi uki matra. So we need to join the alif, we need to join a vav and ulta pesh. Gu. If I pause and if I stop and if I have to see how this thing is written, how that thing is written, because that is precisely the point. I'm just reminding you, on day number 1, I made a full disclosure that I'm not here to teach, I'm here to learn. I'm relearning Urdu, a language with which I've been out of touch for over 4 decades. I wanted to relearn my language of my home country. And while I was relearning, when I decided to relearn Urdu language, I said to myself, why not learn Hindi as well? That's what we're doing. Hence the hesitation, hence the pause. I have to always look it up, especially these letters, because they don't exist in Hindi. They don't exist in Urdu. We don't have a g. We just join the g and a h. So I'm not used to this thing. Gu, no, and then to. Now let's pause here for a second. What's written on the page here is gunata. We don't need gunata. There is no such word. What we're looking for is gunt. Gunt has nasalized n. To produce the sound of a nasalized n, on top of the n, on top of this dot, we put this symbol. We just did it a little while ago. And in Hindi, we're going to take out our n, and we're going to put a symbol that looks like a half moon with a dot. And now it reads gunt. Gunt. What is a gunt? A gunt is the one continuous act of drinking. Gunt is one continuous act of drinking. Or if you like, it is used in the context of a dose of medicine. Liquid medicine, obviously, because you're drinking it, and you take it and you just go in one shot, and that's a good. The verb is gutna. That's the word we need right now. I'm going to erase all of this thing. That's the word we're looking for. Gut. So they do three things. First thing is that they always वो हमेशा तड़पते रहते हैं. They are always restless. वो हमेशा छुपके आहें भरते हैं. They sigh in privacy, in private. They lock themselves in the room and she just cries. She cries over her love. What else does she do? Chupke aanhein bharna, she sighs. And then the last thing she does is now here I have a choti u ki matra, so I'm not sure whether it's choti u or badi u. I'm just going to stick with choti u ki matra. As you can see, it's just a page. Goot ke, and that K is horrible. Goot K. Again, strictly speaking, this K should look like this. There should be like this, like that. But what is there is that's fine. People will understand because I have this line. They will understand there is a K buried in there. Goot K. Marjana. That's it. They take a one gallop or one big goot of their asu, their sorrow, their sadness, and they succumb to death. They die eventually. That's it. That's the story of those who fall in love. मोहब्बत करने वालों का बस इतना ही अफसाना. तड़पना, चुपके आह भरना, गूंट के मर जाना. That's the line the second lady says, because second lady is trying to convince the first one, don't fall in love. It's not fun. It's not good. We suffer. You have a lot of heartache. You will cry a lot. It's not a fun thing to do. Now let's see what the first person replies to it. Now is the turn of the first lady to answer to what the second lady just said. Let's take a look at it. Let's see how she answers. Number 13. Kisi. Kaaf is a choti ki matra. Ki. And then we need a scene with a badi ki matra. Choti hai gives us badi ki matra. Put them together, it's going to look like this. Kisi. You can write it like this or you can write it like this. Ki and then two loops and then both of them are fine. This is fine, this is fine. As a matter of fact, this looks more grown up. किसी दिन छोटी की मात्रा किसी दिन. Let's make this matra a little bit more presentable. Oh, what a beauty. किसी दिन ये is a tricky one. Let's pause for a second. I'm just going to pause for 1 second here. The letter ya comes in two flavors in Urdu. There's a choti ye, which serves as e ki matra, badi ki matra. Like you take a b and this, that makes a b. And there's a badi ye, which serves as choti e ki matra. You write it like this, b and a b. And that's a choti e ki matra. But that's only when either this choti ye or this badi ye is acting as a matra. In Urdu language, as we already just saw, we have 2 years, choti ye, badi ye. Not only we have 2 years, they serve as a matra and the word and the sound year also serves as a letter. So listen very carefully. When year, so this is actually year in the form of a matra. This is a year in the form of a matra, not the Hindi letter year. The Hindi letter year, if you need this strictly as a letter, then you simply write it like this. Okay? And when it is written like this, as simply a letter, then it loses the distinction of choti year and badi year. It loses the distinction because it's not being used as a matra. It's just being used as a letter. If it's just being used as a letter, then there is no distinction whether it's being used as a badi ki matra or choti e ki matra, because it's not a matra. It's just a letter. So what's going to happen now is that we need ye. So listen. So we need a year. We need a year to just like a bar here, except I shouldn't have crossed it all out. Instead of one dot, we have two dots. That's a year to which we're going to join the badi year, and that becomes a year. Year and eki matra. There we go. And that reads year. Kisi din ye. Ye means this or that. Kisi din ye. Kisi din ye. Oh. It is ye in Hindi. In Hindi it would be ye, but that's not how we write it in Urdu. In Urdu, as I said, this is one of the eccentricity we don't, even though it is a ye, and the person who sees it will pronounce this as a ye, but it's actually spelled with a ye and a her. And the reader has to know that it is not a ya, because this he is also used when a letter appears at the very end and requires aki matra, which we just saw a little while ago. But it's also used as an eki matra. And it's not going to take this step, it's going to take this step. And this is read as ye, like this. Kisi din ye tamasha. Ta ma and then sha. You can write sha like this or you can write sha like that. Let's put them together. Kisi din ye tamasha. Ta ma sha. Tamasha. Now what's the tamasha? Tamasha is a show, an entertainment. Or if you like, tamasha is a spectacle. Oh, what a beautiful spectacle. What a beautiful tamasha. What an enjoyable tamasha. What an enjoyable spectacle that was, watching him do this or that. Do you understand? Kisi din ye tamasha. One day, and then she will say what it is. One day this spectacle, that's what it says so far. Mu so mus ka. We don't need a ka, we need a ku. Uki matra. Musku ra. Muskura and then ka. Let's put all of this together. When we put all of this together, it's going to look like this. Mu and then a sa, then a ka and a ra. Mu, sa, ka, ra. Muskura. Muskura. Ka also needs a uki matra. Muskura, it has two uki matras. Mim needs a uki matra, ka needs a uki matra. And read muskura kar. Muskura kar. Kisi din ye tamasha muskura kar. Kisi din ye tamasha muskura kar हम भी देखेंगे. हम भी देखेंगे. हम भी देखेंगे किसी दिन मुस्कुराकर हम भी देखेंगे one day I shall be witness to such a spectacle with a smile on my face. One day I shall be the witness to such a spectacle. One day I would love to be a witness to such a spectacle. In other words, one day I would love to be part of that spectacle. Not witness as in observer, she wants to be part of it. She wants to be the main character, the main protagonist in that spectacle. One day, मुस्कुराकर ये तमाशा हम भी देखेंगे. Because the first study just finished warning her. The first study just warned her, don't fall in love. मोहब्बत करने वालों का अफसाना, मोहब्बत करने वालों का बस इतना ही अफसाना है. They are restless, they sigh, and eventually they take a one gulp of their sorrow and they die. तड़पना, चुपके चुपके आ भरना, घूट के मर जाना. To which the first lady says, well, if that's the case, I would love to be the part of that spectacle. One day, मुस्कुराकर ये तमाशा हम भी देखेंगे. Actually, she doesn't say मुस्कुराकर in the beginning. किसी दिन ये तमाशा मुस्कुराकर हम भी देखेंगे. किसी दिन ये तमाशा, this spectacle, मुस्कुराकर हम भी देखेंगे. One day I would love to be part of that spectacle, and when that happens, I will do so with a big smile on my face because she wants to be in love. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye now.